Guards, are they the best all-round unit at tier 3? That's kind of what I want to have a look at today. We've covered these guys many times in videos before, so I guess this kind of isn't anything unusual, but since they're such a staple unit when we get locked into this tier 3 only game mode, I thought it would be silly to not cover them again. So they're really a very old unit. They're originally from the tech tree, they've been in the game since the start, and to be fair, they've always been a fairly decent unit. But more recently, they've had a unit mastery line added in, and that's kind of really improved them up to the point that they're now the unit that one of the units that you see the most in these tier 3 battles. So in terms of the mastery line, it's added in a few things. Essentially, it's given damage boost, particularly against 3-star units and polar units, plus that damage reduction, which is actually making them reasonably tanky at tier 3. When at tier 3, not much stuff is actually tanky. We also get a small amount of health recovery when they're in cover commander mode. They have this charge when they're in Prefecture Drill is active. It doesn't seem to be really all that effective to me. And just a bit of a flat damage buff and cooldown on the drill mode. And the drill mode is their sort of real big burst damage ability. We can kind of see that as this one here. Really nice. Puts them into sort of almost like a frenzy. They can hit multiple units at once. Does a huge amount of damage. They do have a unit charge. Personally, I just don't really use it. Don't think it's worth the disruption, takes too long to activate, and the damage is just too small for it to really be a viable mechanic, in my opinion. And obviously, cover commander, always using these two in conjunction. You can activate Prefecture Drill, and then you can activate cover commander afterwards, and they will stay in Prefecture Drill mode. Now I've got them down the middle line, largely for this sort of double strike. So essentially, when you're fighting in a cluster and a soldier just swings at one enemy, if there's an enemy standing next to him, he'll hit both, and so essentially deal double damage. And in my opinion, that's what's well worth having. Doctrine wise, got a few things, nice ones on here. Some of you will, some of you won't have some of this stuff. There's things like my epic damage doctrine, which I can't even remember what season I got that from, but I managed to carry that one around through me. Bit of a unit damage increase. It's nice because not only does it increase damage against units, but it gives that 70 damage increase to slashing, piercing, and blunt, which is really nice to have. Sword Doctrine 1, little bit of a damage reduction doctrine, and just that extra little bit of slashing damage, just to peak the amount of damage that they actually do. But anyway, let's hop into one or two battles with these guys, see what we can do, see if we can cut through a few enemy units. So, kick things off on a little bit of Wall Fort. I thought this game was quite an interesting one, not necessarily because of the amount of kills we get, but just because of how resilient the unit is and how it sort of manages to keep going. Anyway, just lost the 8 point, you see some of the enemy are out capturing B, a few of them coming around to have a dabble on the supply point. I'm a little bit reluctant to go in here. The Halbs are holding fine in the corner. I don't really want to be going around the corner. I'd rather the team didn't push, but as they kind of do, I decide, oh, screw it, I suppose you might as well go and help them. Call the unit on, throw on cover commander. As the unit reaches it, straight on with Prefecture Drill and back into cover commander. And we can engage and we can deal with these other Prefecture Guards without too many problems. Try and just get the lockdown on this chain dart. You know, if you get the units to approach on cover commander, it will kill a light armor unit like that really, really quickly. Because basically you get all 28 of the unit stood over you. It just means that you get sort of insane amounts of burst damage, particularly if the Prefecture Drill is still active. But anyway, don't want to follow on any further than that. I'm not trying to look to push the enemy back to the wall, we're just trying to hold the C point. So get back over to our friendly supply point, let's get healed up. So I'm heading back out now to the C point. Enemy is starting to push pretty hard from a few ways, looking for my opportunities. These squires here, I decide to come around into the back in the end. Come in, put on to cover commander. It's a little bit of a loose fight. I probably should have gone Prefecture Drill here. There was so much going on. I didn't want to burn my Prefecture Drill when it's got a reasonably long cooldown. Luckily that Treb manages to largely miss as just direct my unit out of the way. And I'm just sort of keeping them in the fight like this. And they work really nicely in this sort of situation. They're quite a tanky unit for tier 3. And so it means you can use them and sort of get around and keep into these fights and get kills. And you're just picking up kills on units like these squires. Then we can come back round, try and get on this musket here. And there he goes. He managed to survive longer than I thought he would. And we did use our Prefecture Drill there, but we also then go and get the assist on the longsword. So a couple of enemy halberdiers charging in. Perfect for me. We can just bring the unit up in behind, activate that cover commander, and we just cut through them really without any problems. Next up, we've got a unit of condos coming in from the other way. Dodge the charge, wait for them to burn out their energy, back on with cover commander, push straight back into the fight. And again, in this sort of situation, Prefecture Guards will easily beat over a unit of condos. particularly, you know, with mass beeline, with good doctrines, etc. It's kind of an easy win. Sort of watch out for that trip. But in all this chaos, it's quite a chaotic fight on sea. A lot of units, particularly at tier 3, you'll find you'll get in, have a quick fight, a quick bit of burst, and then you'll be dead. You might be picking up a good number of kills, but it will cost you your unit. Prefecture Guards just are a bit more survivable. And I think we've kind of proved that nicely. Anyway, still quite a good amount of health left on the unit. Bit of a break in the fighting, so I thought, right, let's get them back. Let's get them over to the supply point, get them healed up, so we can keep the fight going. So with the unit healed up, I'm calling them back over to me and then just sort of hanging myself out around the point. A few enemies look like they might be having a bit of another push again soon. Actually, an enemy enemy short sword behind us. It doesn't look like he did all that well against the Rattan marksman. We've not actually got that much on the sea point at this point, so I'm kind of conscious that I may need to get in pretty quickly. Come around the corner, got a unit of halberdiers, straight on with Prefecture Drill, straight into the front. We're going to take some damage, but with the combination of my hero, we can get enough knockdown that we can wipe through basically that full stack of halberdiers without much problems. And that takes us to just up to 100 kills. We can then pull the unit back up out of the fight, up onto a little bit of high ground while we decide what we want to do. At this point, I was really tempted to go back to the supply point, get the unit healed up again, but then I thought we have only just been there, and if I'm not careful, I'm going to spend the entire fight at the supply point. So I decided, screw it, I've still got a lot of units left, let's go and have another look, let's go and have another fight. And so I'm just sort of loitering around, waiting for the enemy to make the next push. As we come down, we get a charge of these Prefecture Pikes, which is fine by me, and because they're so clumped together as well, they even get a chunk of damage with my glaive. Bomb. And there we go. With the Prefecture Guards, we can just finish them off. We can then get stuck into this fight with this longsword, try and get him taken down, but he just manages to get out of the fight in time. But they don't call me Evo Slayer of Peasants for nothing, and I spy a full unit of serfs, and I couldn't realistically say no. So just to top up the kills a few more, come on. And obviously, I nearly get done over by this dual blade, and we just get on. You see how I use Prefecture Drill mode and then put the unit on cover commander, and look how little health I have. That drill blade so nearly got me, but the Prefecture Guards can get you out of a bit of a tight situation. So yeah, the Prefecture Drill, as I said earlier, so damaging against light armor heroes. The unit managed to get here in time and basically just one-shot that drill blade. It's quite nice. If you knew, I didn't actually know he was there, but if you know the drill blades are around, you can pretty well bait them on this sort of thing, because you can get them to lock onto you, and as a heavy armor glaive, I can survive long enough for the unit to get over, and then you can just sort of insta-kill them with your unit. We've got a nice little longsword here, same sort of situation, call the unit over, cover commander, just puts a lot of damage out, even against more heavily armoured heroes. We then get another stack of enemy halberdiers coming over, trying to sort of flag awareness on the point, come over straight on Prefecture Drill, straight on cover commander, and again, with a bit of assist from some friendly units, we can kind of push straight in. Straight onto another unit and get the hero kill on them all, into another unit of Prefecture Guards, just trying to push around, push through the back as well, keeping them on cover commander the whole time. Come on, get back here. There we go, another Maul goes down, and we can just finish mopping up. But at this point, the vast majority of our unit is kind of dead. It's not done bad. Done is almost 160 kills, can't complain too much, although those fire archers there are a little bit of a pain. At this point, I'm kind of thinking about how to get to those archers, see the friendly cav go in, so I thought I'd go and give a little bit of assist. Still got the unit on cover commander, grab a few kills on some of these enemy archers. Actually managed to lose my horse here, which was slightly annoying. But then I just stuck the unit back on the attack, stuck them on Prefecture Drill, and left them to it. See what they can do without any hero support. Next up, Orgolia, and kind of the other way to use Prefecture Guards, which is just sort of Prefecture Guards go brr. You don't really need to use any tactics, you can just use their raw burst damage. Go in this situation, pushing A on Orgolia, come round, straight on for Prefecture Drill, straight on cover commander, and then it's just full steam ahead with my hero. Just pushing straight into the mob. They've got the grenades in there, we want to just get through as quickly as possible. And Prefecture Guards are fantastic at this. Look at the amount of kills we get and how quickly they just march through these shields. I do a little charge at the end. I don't think that really did anything of any value. But kind of there you go, 50 kills, no skill, tactics or anything involved. Basically lost no units, and it just completely pushes through in that sort of situation. This sort of thing, they really are great. A little bit later on in the same battle, got the unit healed up, and essentially we're just going to do the same thing. There's no good way for this B fight. It's really just a case of get the damage buff on, get the Prefecture drill on, into cover commander, and let's just go hell for leather. Ultimately, I'm expecting to lose the unit in this situation. But you try and do this with many other tier 3 melee units and you'll find that they'll just get obliterated before they really even get a chance to get into the fight. The survivability of the Prefecture Guards combined with the damage really make them quite a nice viable unit. And so between that A push and this one, it'll get me to almost 100 kills with them. I think that's fair to say they earned their leadership worth. Unfortunately, we lose so much health that I can't really continue to push in on this one, but we do manage to capture the D point, or even the B point. I'm on the right point of the map. Anyway, that's all we've got on Prefecture Guards. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And I'll see you guys all on the next one.